Welcome back to Sortitoutsi channel for a brand new experiment. Today I am wanting to cause utter chaos in the managerial market. So we are sacking / releasing every single manager from the Premier League, Ligue, La Liga, the Bundesliga and Serie A, as well as the top international managers from around the world. So strap in, we'll go to the end of season 1 and see who has ended up where. As you can see, here are the leagues that we are looking at. I'll quickly just jump into a few of them. This is the start of the save. Chelsea don't have a manager. Palace don't have a manager. Everton don't have a manager. For some reason, Fulham, no matter how many times you sack somebody, they'll just promote somebody to be the manager. So as you can see, Marco Silva has been sacked, but they would just keep promoting somebody else. So it was somebody, I can't remember who it was, and then it was Nathan Gardner. So I don't know why, they just kept coming back. But trust me, so you know, we'll check Nice, no manager. We will check Real Madrid, there's no manager. So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate to the end of the season, see what managers went where, see if anybody has went to a club and then been sacked, see if anyone goes back to the club they've previously managed, see who's managing the best international teams in the world, and more importantly, see if this has actually been able to shake up world football. So we are at the end of the season. As you can see, Man City have won the Premier League, Madrid have won La Liga, Inter Milan have won Serie A, and Bayern Munich have won the Bundesliga. So there doesn't appear to be much different yet, and if we also check Ligue 1, PSG have won. So there doesn't appear to be much difference in terms of who has won the leagues at the moment. But we'll go and we'll just have a look, see how much chaos has been caused around the managerial world just by sacking all the managers. So we'll start off in the Premier League and we'll go to Manchester City. We can see that they have Antonio Conte as the manager. Man United now have Carlo Ancelotti. Newcastle have brought in Thomas Tuchel. Nottingham Forest have Tony Mowbray. Sheffield United have Vincent Kompany. Tottenham have Hansi Flick. West Ham United have Julian Lopetegui. Wolves have Ralph Hasenhüttl. Arsenal have Simone Inzaghi. Aston Villa have Graham Potter. I think that'd be a great little match up there. Bournemouth have Thomas Frank. Brentford have Stephen Presley. Brighton have Arne Slot. Burnley don't have a manager because they brought in Iraola and he was sacked because they have failed to stay in the Premier League. Chelsea have Ernesto Valverde. Crystal Palace have Enzo Maresca. And Everton have Roy Hodgson. Of course, trust my team to be the ones that go for Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson, who in game is now the ripe old age of 76, and he is actually about to retire. So, you know, Everton doing Everton things there. In terms of looking at Real Madrid, they have Jurgen Klopp in charge. Real Sociedad have Luciano Spalletti. Sevilla have Jose Mourinho. That's a move I could potentially maybe see happening, just because Jose Mourinho is desperate to get back into football, and I can't see a massive club taking a gamble on him again, unfortunately. Valencia have Castells. Villarreal don't have a manager. Who did they bring in? They brought in Roberto Martinez, who unfortunately was sacked. Take a look at just some of the bigger clubs. So Barcelona have Luis Enrique, he's went back for a second spell. Atletico Madrid have Stefano Pioli in charge. Real Betis have Xavi, and we'll take a look at Athletic as well. Athletic have Gattuso in charge. So sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit is in Athletic. I don't think he'll get on too well with the Basque board only allowing him to sign Basque players, but there we go. Let's go and we'll take a look in Serie A, see exactly who's managing there. Inter Milan have Roberto De Zerbi. I think that'd be a great matchup there. Juventus now have Gasperini. Lazio have Ronald Koeman. What other big teams have we got? Napoli have Diego Simeone now in charge. Milan don't have a manager because who was their manager? Mikel Arteta, who got sacked after a 5th placed finish, unfortunately for them. Fiorentina have Almeida, the AEK Athens manager, in charge. Roma, who have they got? Roma have Pochettino. I could see this happening in the future. I could see Pochettino managing Roma in Serie A. Next up, we're going to go and take a look at the Bundesliga, see what's kind of transpired over there. So in the Bundesliga, we have Pep Guardiola's back in Germany, back to just win more trophies. He wasn't going to go anywhere else other than a dominant side, was he? So we can then go back and we'll see Frankfurt have Conceição, the Porto boss, in charge. The Darmstadt don't have a manager. Paulo Fonseca is the Borussia Mönchengladbach manager. Dortmund have Xabi Alonso in charge, which is quite interesting. Bochum have Matarazzo. I think he was the former Stuttgart manager, if I'm correct. Yeah, he managed Stuttgart and then he managed Hoffenheim as well. Bayer Leverkusen have Marco Rose in charge. Augsburg have Andre, we'll just call him. Wolfsburg now have Bo Svensson, Werder Bremen have Jean Daltemassen, Union Berlin have Hoeneß, Stuttgart have Glasner, Red Bull Leipzig have Tedesco. I'm sure he's managed them before, is he not? Yeah, 2021 to 22 he was the manager. Have I missed anybody else big in the Bundesliga? Any other big managers? I don't think so, correct me if I'm wrong. And the last league we will look at is Ligue. See who's managing the big clubs here. So we'll start with Lille. Lille are currently managed by Michel Der Zakarian. I'm not sure who that is. Then we'll take a look at Lyon. Lyon are currently managed by Lucien Favre. Monaco are managed by Mark van Bommel. Nice have Vladimir Petkovic in charge. Marseille are managed by Ruud van Nistelrooy. Take a look at PSG. PSG are managed by Ange Postecoglou. As a Scotsman, I know, I've seen him a lot up in Scotland when he was manager of Celtic, and obviously we all know him from his time at Tottenham already in the Premier League this season, but I can't see him managing a club as big as PSG in the future. As good a manager as he is, I just can't see him managing at that level. He is already 58 years old. He obviously managed for a long time over in Asia, so he managed in Australia quite a lot, he managed in Japan for years. Celtic, Tottenham, I can't see him going to a PSG, I just cannot see him going to a team like that. So we have it, we've seen who's won all the leagues around, so Man City, PSG, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich. Nothing major so far has happened in the shake-up. We will now go and we will look at how teams have done swiftly. Have Manchester City, for example, won the Champions League. They won the Champions League. So Manchester City have beaten Bayern Munich. So Manchester City has beaten Pep Guardiola's Bayern Munich in the final. You could not make that up. In the Europa League, Liverpool have beaten Sociedad. Who was Liverpool boss again? Who did we see? We didn't actually see. I missed that one. Zinedine Zidane, the Liverpool manager, beating Real Sociedad. And in the Europa Conference League, we have seen Osasuna beating Aston Villa. The Osasuna manager is currently Jose Bordelas. I think he is quite highly thought of in Spain. From Valencia and Getafe manager. Now take a look, and we'll actually have a look at some of the international jobs. So we will take a look at we'll just click on the Nations League, go through some of them there. So Italy have Allegri as their manager now. Who else did we get rid of? We'll take a look. None of these teams here because they are all lower down. Right, we'll go for this way. France currently have Antoine Koumbari. I'm sure he's managed in and around France his entire career. Yes, he has, other than a spell at Al Hilal before they were rich. So he's a Frenchman himself. He's managed around France for years. So they've got him in charge. Germany have Julian Nagelsmann. They have rehired Nagelsmann, which is quite surprising. Belgium have Hein. We'll call him Hein. Hein's the manager of Belgium. The Netherlands have Erik ten Hag. I could see that happening at some point in the future. We've looked at Italy. Spain have Marcelino in charge. I really rate Marcelino. I actually wanted him to be the Everton boss at one stage. Former Villarreal manager. We've looked at Germany. Croatia, did we look at that? They've got Rafa Benitez in charge. He is the Croatia manager. Scotland now have Frank de Boer in charge. I can't see that happening, but there we go. Steve Clarke actually went on anywhere else. In fact, Steve Clarke's retired by the looks of it, but Joaquin Caparros, who is also retired, was the manager for 242 days. He won 2 games, drew 1, lost 3, so he has gone. But we have Frank de Boer as the manager of Scotland. What a big name that would be to get manager of Scotland. And the one that we all want to see is England, although it doesn't look like England are in this. Oh, they'll be in Group B now. So England have Maurizio Sarri as their manager. So there we have it. That is the end of this experiment. Were there any shocks that you saw in terms of changes in European football? I wouldn't say much really. But what managers do you think look like they would be a good fit in real life for where they've ended up? Which managers do you think never would get these jobs? And would you have the manager in this simulation at your current club? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, like, share and subscribe, and we will see you next time.